the strength in you. Dun 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 dun. Coming through with the strength in you. Hey boo, hey, coming through with the strength in you. What it do, what it do? Coming through with the strength in you. You made it, good job. Strength in you, coming through. Strength in you, coming through. Hey boo.
Hey, boo, hey. Happy Monday. We made it through the weekend. I ain't going to even keep y'all because it's going to be one of them kind of days. We got to adapt how we live. Let me get my king in. Let me bring my king in. What's up,
Yo,
King?
yo, what up, everybody?
What's
That
up,
took a
King?
lot of
Wisdom on the
energy. Oh
scene.
my god. I'm tired, y'all. I got things to do today, so I'm not gonna be here for the whole episode. Well, we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. How's everybody doing?
That's what's up. We in the building, y'all. Happy Monday. Glad you made it through the weekend. Feel blessed because everybody didn't get the opportunity. Let me let y'all know right now, our show is not going to be the normal routine because, as you see, I'm in rehab and my boy Wisdom got something to do. So we're going to hit him with the switch up because we want the topic to be the main thing addressed real quick because I want to be able to address what's going on. But before we get in tune with that, we got to hit you with our young time. You know, the time of the
When
motivation.
you motivate, you elevate. It's motivation time.
Yo, so what's up, everybody? It's motivation time. I'm actually prepared today. Shocker, I know. But with motivation time, it's a weekly thing that we do on this show, and I'm happy to do it. But it kind of goes hand in hand with what the topic is, right? Like, how long can we do something until we get either tired or unmotivated or whatever gets in the way of you driving towards your goal? There's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be hurdles, but as long as you stay consistent, consistency is the biggest part of our lives, right? As we get older, we want to be more consistent with what we do, and oh, we want to stay more consistent with what we do. And honestly, like, you go every day and you go forward and you do what you have to do. I'm running a circle, so I'm gonna go into the quote. It is by Steve Maraboli or Marabelli. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's close enough. Um, it says, incredible change happens in your life when you decide to take control of what you have power over instead of craving control over what you don't. I like that one. So that one to me, it says like stop worrying about things you can't control in your life because there's plenty of them, and we're all guilty of that to a certain extent, right? So
Absolutely.
take control. Okay.
Didn't me motivate me so.
So take control over things that you have control over. Like worry about those things. Like be grateful towards your what you're able to do, not what you're not able to do. We kind of talked about that last week, but I wanted to reiterate that in this week. So have control over your emotions, keep yourself in check, and it's okay to take a break, right? Like you don't have to go hard every single day. Just take a break, relax, take a mental day, and prioritize what's important. Like today, I have an appointment. I could have easily missed it to do the show, but my health is a little more has a little more priority over the show. So I'm gonna go to my appointment and do it, even though it's a follow up. But it is what it is, and I know strength is in the hospital today, so we're doing a really good job of adapting. Um, so like what we normally do because life takes over sometimes and you have to roll with the punches. So that's your motivation time for this week. Next week I have a juicy one. Next week we'll get back to the regular, flow of it and we'll be good. But that was your motivation time with wisdom.
No, good job. I love that motivation. As Wisdom said, y'all, I'm in a hospital, but you see your girl still smiling and adapting to life because things are out of your control. You just adapt and you move on. But I see we got a queen in on the scene. Hold on, y'all, because yeah, bow. Hey, girl, hey,
Hey,
good morning. So
happy
before I go any
Tuesday.
further, let me encourage you to head over to YouTube and click, subscribe to our channel, Strength in You. Click that bell so you get the notifications when we go live. And this show, like I said, it will run out of the ordinary just because we doing things differently today. We got stuff going on, so we got to make a move.
Hmm.
And we're talking about how long can you do something before you just burnt out or you're unmotivated, and that deals with whether you're a smoker, whether you're a drinker, whether you're a survivor of trauma, whether you're in a relationship that you're not happy with, but you're steady dealing. Like anything that you're doing right now, and you're just doing just to kind of pass time. How long can you do this and be okay inside?
I know this topic personally hits to like what I'm going through right now, right? Like I was kind of burning the like a moment of honesty, right? Like I was
Mhm.
doing things, eating out of control, like doing things I really shouldn't be doing. That was not beneficial to my recovery, and it wasn't until I got burnt out and I got forced to change that I had to like really look at the what I was doing
Yeah,
and look at it and be like, okay, well, I have to change. I can't do X, Y, and Z anymore because it's not beneficial. Like I know a lot of us struggle with that aspect of changing our lives, but we have to realize, um, yes, the stroke isn't optimal, right? Like we all wish we didn't have it, but this is our life now, so we have to adapt to what we do. We can't go out and party all day and expect, a different result, right? Like partying and doing all those things is kind of what led us into this result, to a certain extent. I know
yeah.
there's
But
issues
to
like
be
I
fair,
was,
you can't sit in depression either. To be fair, you
yeah,
can't sit in sadness either and think you're gonna get different results. Woe was me, and why did I have a stroke, and why me, and with those type of thoughts, you're not gonna make it far.
and you have to be accepting of your life now. Like I struggled with, even though I was able to like do my motivation time and put on a smile and kind of keep going, like behind the scenes, I was really sad. Like I was really sad. Like even though I think the stroke kind of changed my life in more of a positive way, um, I wasn't ready to let go of certain things. You know what I mean? And it took a while before I got burnt out emotionally. It took a toll on me to the fact where I had to change my mindset and change what I was doing. You know?
Right. Like even outside of stroke, like say you in like I got a couple people that's been around me lately, and they're in a relationship, and they're not happy in this relationship, and they find themselves been mean to their kids and to the person that they supposedly want to be with. And that's because now I think subconsciously you've put yourself in this place for so long, but now it's starting to show. So how long can you really sit in this relationship with this person and pretend that this is who you want to be with without it affecting your kids or without it affecting what you do with you, because it's going to change your happiness? You know what I mean? So I think the biggest thing is to be open and to be accepting of what it is that you truly want. And it ain't gonna always appease everybody, but you can't please everybody. So that just kind of is what it is. What do you think, Courage? How long is there a particular situation that you can speak on that you can say, how long can you do this before you just can't?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of situations I can speak on that. I mean, just by being with around people that you don't want to be around no more, or people that's draining you, and you just stuck because you're scared of what how they feel, how they gonna feel towards your what you want to do. If you stay in it, it will do some damage mentally, emotionally, and physically. If you're going through like recovery, it don't help with your recovery. And so I just have to tell people it's best to get out of it.
Yeah, but I'm not just even talking about just relationships because I'm talking about even okay. For me, an example,
What?
one of my issues was staying positive. I was so busy trying to stay positive that I didn't allow myself to have those moments of sadness or those moments of down because I felt like I had to be positive or else stroke was going to win. But the fact of the matter is, I'm human, and life just is what it is.
Mhm.
Sometimes you're not happy, so I had to be able to accept that I'm human and today I'm just not with it and be accepting of that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you have to let yourself go through that. You have to let yourself. You can't just be every day up, 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 because then you not being true to yourself. You have to be able to look in the mirror and say, "Hey, today is not a good day. Today I'm not having that positive mode. Today I just want to be. I want to settle. I want to get this anger out." And it's okay to have them days.
Right.
I went through a day like that yesterday where I wasn't the optimal junior. I wasn't positive and happy go lucky. And it was a moment since then. Like it's Father's Day, you're supposed to be in a good mood. I just wasn't, you know. I was dealing with like I couldn't place like it wasn't an exact thing that happened that put me in a bad mood. I
Right.
was just in a bad mood. And
Yeah.
I wasn't rude or anything, you know. I just didn't want to. I wasn't social. I didn't really want to be outside. It was hot as hell yesterday. If you're in Florida, you know what I'm talking about. And it just really affected like how I went throughout my day. And it wasn't until I got home, put something on my stomach, and really like I read the Bible a little bit, and it put me in a better mood. But I still had the lingering effects. But I didn't wake up today feeling that same way. You know, I woke up today, I was like, it's a new day, it's a new week, let's start it off the right way. And
Right.
you have to be mentally strong to do that. That's not for everybody. Not everybody can do that. But what I would say to you is, um, if you're having an issue with your emotions or whatever, either talk to a counselor or talk to a happy friend. Reach out to a happy friend. If somebody who's always going to joke to you and keep it real, because I have a couple of those people that I can count on, and they're not gonna feed into my BS. You know, like they're
Right.
gonna call a spade, and you need those kind of people in your life to kind of keep you grounded and keep you humble.
So with that being said, that adds to the same thing. Like, how long can you keep having nothing as friends in your life and think you're gonna be successful? Or how long can you be complacent and not search out what you're seeking and think you're gonna win? You know what I mean? So yeah, all that kind of falls right into it. That you
Yeah,
gotta
and
be
absolutely, absolutely, and you can't expect like the same results, right? That's kind of insanity. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. Like it's not gonna happen, right? So you have to change your environment. If the environment you're in is sucking your energy and sucking your motivation or whatever it's sucking away from you, if it's affecting your life in a negative way, you need to change that. And sometimes you have to be me centered, right? Like you only have to concentrate on yourself because you came into this world by yourself, and unfortunately, we're gonna leave by ourselves. So you don't have time to worry about X, Y, and Z about this person or that person's emotions or how they feel about a certain topic, because at the end of the day, you live your own life, and we live at a disadvantage. So we shouldn't be stressing ourselves out and worrying about X, Y, and Z. Like we have to worry about us, right? Like the person who's gonna root the hardest for you is yourself. And if you're not okay, you have to look at and analyze like what's going on, what can I change in my life, who do I need to get rid of, who do I need to add into my life to enrich your life, because day by day goes, and as we get older, our patience for stupidity runs smaller and smaller and smaller. So you have to just be mindful of that and stay true to who you are.
Absolutely. Courage, you got anything to add to that? I agree with you 100% wisdom.
I agree with him, but I'm more of like a observer. And the
Explain.
reason what I'm finna explain. I'm more of a observer, and I put things out there. Like if I talk to someone or I confide in someone, and I see what they do with it, if it offend me or if I don't like how they handle something I came to them with, I'll push back. I can admit to that, and I'm not perfect, but it just some things that if it rubs me up the wrong way, I push back. You know, at the beginning when I had my stroke, like some things we face challenges every day, and some things I was faced with that I was not aware that I. When you face with something that you no longer you can't do, you get frustrated. And so I would have to take a step back because I would think I would be in the wrong for feeling that way, or having that anger or that depression. And so I felt like I'm in the wrong, there's something wrong with me. And in reality, it wasn't. You have to go through them steps. It's okay. I have to be like, it's okay. People want to tell me how to feel. That's one thing you can't do is let nobody tell you how you're supposed to feel. You have to go through them emotions.
Let me
Yeah,
ask
but
you
you made
this,
me.
Courage. Let me ask
You
you
just made
this
me
real
want to
quick.
ask. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll wait after you. Go ahead.
You don't feel like it's a detriment to like, I guess, being observant too much and not taking control?
No, I think you are. I think you have to be observant.
And that leads to
Mm.
the question I wanted to ask. How long can you be observant and really get what you want? Because all you're doing is observing and not taking action. You're just observing. You're not really doing anything if you're just looking. You know what I'm saying? So how long
Yeah,
can we really do that as a person?
because
Like,
you can observe something, but if that's not like where your energy need to be at, like I don't have time to, if I observe something, I don't have time to put all my energy into something that really don't manifest to me.
but in a situation what you was talking about as far as like something happening and you realizing you can no longer do it, so now you're frustrated and now you're observant of that and you step
Hmm.
back. Instead of sitting and observing that you can no longer do it, why not control what you can do and figure out what do I need to adapt to figure out how I can do it versus just sitting back and observing, because observing will only take you so far unless you
Well,
put
I'm
an
not gonna
action.
say in that point because there's a lot of things in my life that I had to observe that I no longer can do, that now I can do, that when instead of me listening to other people, I went out and figured out the way that I can successfully do it.
So then you're not just saying you observe, you saying you observe and then you take action. It's not just you
I
observe
don't.
and you sit back and observe and you don't take control of nothing. You're just observant of what's going on.
Yeah, whatever. Like I have situations that I observe some that might not need my fully attention, so I'm not gonna give it all my energy. I just let, hey, it is what it is. When I can
Hmm.
focus something on what needs my attention more
Okay.
than something that don't. Basically, I don't put all my attention into BS.
Mm.
I don't have time for it. I observe it, but I'm not gonna put all my energy to it. I'm gonna be silent. I ain't, you might think I have attitude, but I have other things that I need to focus on than
And
deal
that,
with
but what
unnecessary.
if, what in those situations, what about those situations that may seem BS to you, but maybe not to the person you're talking to or you're in the situation with? You know what I'm saying? You know how some things can matter to you but not matter to somebody else. So what may be BS to you may be valid to them. So how do you just be like, well, since it's not valid to me, I'm not gonna worry about it? Like, is
Well,
that
if I come, I'm not gonna be like, I'm just gonna shut you down. I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna voice my opinion. But if you blow me off, I'm gonna be like, oh well, I'm not gonna keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. And you don't want to talk and you don't want to do this and you don't. I ain't got time for that. I got to
Hmm.
move on. Let me know when you ready.
right? I feel you.
Well, ladies, it's been real. I'm gonna actually watch your show on my phone and comment through the comments. But let me get out of here because I gotta get ready for my appointment. But this was a really good episode. I wish I was here the whole time. But you guys will hold it down. I know you will. But I'll see y'all later.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Have a good doctor's appointment. Your follow up's gonna go well. Thanks for coming through,
Yeah,
Wisdom.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
did I freeze?
No, you Gucci. So our brother Wisdom had a doctor's appointment, and as I told y'all see where I'm at. I ain't gotta tell you. But yeah, to get back in tune, I guess so. I had switched up our whole show, guys, just for Wisdom because he told me he had his appointment and he had something he really wanted to say. So I had to make sure he was able to say it. So that means we didn't get to do our word of the day and we didn't do our history. So I don't even start with the word of the day. I'm gonna start with the history because I don't have our flashcards from Urban Intellectuals. But what I do have is Juneteenth, baby. Celebrate.
Huh?
Happy Juneteenth. Yeah. I can't do much. My foot in the cast. But all of my notes I put on the phone of what Juneteenth really represents because a lot of us are happy about Juneteenth, but we never really knew or even still don't know or understand what it is and what it means. So all this information I found while I was in a hospital under medication. So I was on Percocets and Oxys. But
Oh,
I found all this information on battlefield.org. So, if y'all didn't know, back January 1st, 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation was declared, and that was supposed to free the slaves. But everybody didn't follow suit, and it was those um, Confederacy Southern states that didn't really follow suit, mostly Texas. Okay, but so
here
they
we
found
go.
themselves trying to be independent, and they had a rebel government that did not enforce the proclamation, and then Texas became the stronghold for all the people who still had slaves. So, for all those people who still had slaves, they took those 50,000 slaves and enslaved them and relocated them in Texas to prolong the slavery even longer. That's why slavery was out everywhere else. I mean, all the slaves were free everywhere else except for Texas for that one reason. And then the Union general, his name was Gordon Grangler. He came on this very day in 1865 to deliver the news in Texas that declared all of the slaves to be free. So then they had to release 250,000 enslaved people, y'all. They were freed. And then they started to migrate all through the US and they called that migration the scatter because there was a lot of black folks leaving Texas and getting the hell up out of it. They were scattering honey like roaches when you turn on a light. They was up at that joint. So and then 2021, President Biden on June 17, 2021, Biden was like, let's get him another holiday because all they had was MLK Day, and they got that back in 1973. So they gave us Juneteenth. That's how Juneteenth was born for us. And that day is also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Cell Liberation Day, Second Independence Day, or Emancipation Day. So that is your history for the day. Juneteenth was born because somebody saw that the rights of people were still being captivated and we needed to be freed. And so here we are today celebrating, but unfortunately, although it's a federal holiday, it's some jobs out here that's still racist, and it's people who not off work, which don't make sense to me. Because if it's a federal holiday, should nobody be clocking in right now, except for people who are necessities like nurses and doctors, and people like that. But people with other jobs, it's a federal holiday. They shouldn't be at work. So we need to. That's the next thing we need to work on, y'all. We got Juneteenth. Now we need to make it really be a thing and let it stick and make it a day that everybody gets off federally because that's what it's supposed to be about. So, Juneteenth, people, happy Juneteenth. Our word of the day, guys. Okay, we got a fun word of the day. I think it's called schism. Oh, Trina, I need you, my courage boo. I need you to take over because my doctors came in.
Oh, I can come back.
No, honey.
Okay. Well, we're gonna skip the word of the day for right now. And we're going to go into rise up. Today we are rising up to the word freedom.
It's beautiful to be courageous. Let's have beauty and courage.
Ain't that about right in the middle of when I was talking? Okay, well, today we rising up to the word freedom. And freedom means we're going to be free in our mind, free in our spirit, free in our soul. Freedom to your thoughts and creativity. Freedom means you are free to choose whatever you want to choose. You can choose to be, today symbolize we choose to be whoever we want it to be. The goals we set, we are free to reach them. We are free to go high in education. We just free. We are free to just be free in love and just have freedom. And so today we are rising up to that word. And as you go through the day, just remember anything that you go through, just know that you have that right to choose. You have that freedom to speak. You have that freedom to say what you like and what you don't like. And so today, just be free. And that's the celebration of Juneteenth, baby.
The word of the day, don't wait, educate.
Wait a minute, I forgot. I forgot the doctor was in here and I had muted myself. All kind of crazy going on. I'm so sorry, y'all. Forgive me. You can catch this show on Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio and anywhere where podcasts are available. Strengthen you. But yeah, adaptation at its finest. Our word of the day, I believe, is called schism. I don't know. We're gonna learn together today. I think it's called schism, and we're gonna figure out what it means together. And then we're gonna get right back into the topic, guys. And I so appreciate your patience because this surgery was the truth. I'm in so much pain right now, but I love y'all. Let's learn. Let's get it.
Schism.
I was right.
Schism.
You got
Schism.
schism. It is a split or division between strongly opposed sections or parties caused by differences in opinions or belief. The formal separation of a church. Oh, you got it?
Oh yeah, the formal separation of a church into two churches. The session of a group on the doctrinal and other differences.
Okay.
Wait a
And
minute, I need to go back to the definition. Oh,
you
go
want to read
ahead.
it again? Do you need to read it again?
What, the definition?
Yeah, or you okay?
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Okay. An example of schism in a sentence. The argument at Thanksgiving dinner over who makes the best gravy caused a schism in the family, and we planned a gravy tournament for Christmas. Go ahead.
The pastor gave an interesting lecture on this How you say it again?
Take your time, baby.
Six
Schism.
between the branches of the church that divided denominations
Yeah.
in the 18th century.
Okay. So you got that right. They basically saying the pastor gave an interesting lecture on the differences between the
Mm-hmm.
different and the branches. So okay, so for me and my schism, hey, I'm encouraging y'all put your sentences in the comments so we can display your sentences for schism. Let's get it. Let's see. There are so many schisms of strokes that
Yeah.
it differed. Nope, I want to use that. Hold on. Yeah, there are so many schisms of stroke that you can never compare yours to nobody else's.
Okay. Okay, let's see. There is so much schisms in this world that we can't come together as one.
It works, and
Right?
that's nerve wracking. But no, it works definitely. But let's get back into this topic, y'all, because this topic is a good one. Because we all do stuff for so long. Because most of the things we do are habits. It's not because we want to do them. Like, for instance, as a cigarette smoker, when I was smoking, like when I was smoking, especially like as a kid, I used to be able to go buy Lucy's from the little bootleg house or whatever, and so I would wake up and I would go to the bootleg house and get a square off a routine, not because I wanted it, not because I needed it, no other reason than habit. So I'm saying it to say a lot of the things we do based on habit. Even us not exercising is based off habit. Even us, the way we eat is based off habit. But how long can you truly keep doing the same exact thing you're doing right now and be content? Not necessarily motivated or happy, just be content or even thrive. Can you really thrive doing something repeatedly over and over again?
No, no, because after a while, if you hurt something, if you keep doing something over and over, just like you say, you would go every morning and get a cigarette, you was hurting your body. Just like me,
Mm-hmm.
I had a habit of waking up. The first thing I wanted was
Mm-hmm.
candy and soda. I hurt my body doing it. So I think that if you something's gonna get hurt if you go in the same pattern.
You
That's
definitely
just
have
the
to
way
break.
I feel.
No, that's a fact. You have to. It's just like I hate to keep talking about strokes, but of course we're stroke survivors. So I'm gonna wrap everything around stroke because that's kind of the life I live. And as a stroke survivor, even in therapy, you cannot keep doing the same therapy and think you're gonna progress. You're gonna plateau and you're gonna reach a level of no growth. So it's just like with anything in your life. If you keep doing the same thing without any adaptation or any just changes, you're gonna plateau and you're not gonna grow. And your relationships are not gonna thrive and go anywhere. They're not gonna flourish because you're not gonna have any expectation. You're gonna expect things to stay the same because that's all you do. There is nothing more to it. So it's like at some point you have to be a realist and know I got to do something a little bit different if I want something different. What's the saying? If you want something different, you got to do something different. If you want something you never did, if you want something you never had, you got to do something you never did. Yeah, that's a real thing, and it's facts. Like, let me get rid of this word. I had wisdom in my head saying more the word, but um, like for instance, like right now I'm in this hospital, right? I felt it in my body. I only been in the hospital since Thursday, but I felt it just sit in this bed for them few days after I've moved so much all this time. I was starting to get sore on my butt, my back, and I don't give a damn how many times you flip me. My body don't want to be in that bed because I'm not. It's not used to that. It's I have to adapt to the situation. So I can't stand the bed, or else I'm gonna develop bed sores. So I can't just stand in bed. So that's another situation where it's like, yeah, you just can't do something for so long and think you're gonna get anywhere. My leg would never get any better if I just laid there and kept it up on a pillow and never moved it. So although I can't weight bear on my leg, I'm laying in that bed and I'm moving my leg back and forth. I'm sitting in this chair right now and I'm lifting my leg up and down. So I mean, it's little things that'll take you places, but you definitely can't stay in the same little thing saying, well, I want different, I want better, I want more. Because you're never gonna get it because you're too busy doing the same exact thing. Growth don't happen with the same things. It happens with consistency and with adaptation of doing new things that your body didn't know it can do. I believe in
Yeah,
it.
I believe if you thinking about it, do it.
Hmm.
Like prime example, like sometimes I think about like using my affected arm to turn off something, and sometimes I had the habit of just using just you go ahead and reach out with the good arm, but sometimes my affected arm will just reach out by itself and do it. But sometimes you just have to let go and just whatever you think to do, just do it. And like if you're in a situation and you know when you are ready to make that next step. You know when you are ready to make that next level. You have to get it within yourself to know when it's to move. Don't move because somebody else is moving or somebody else is going forward. You have to know when it's the next level. But you also have to be confident in your own self. You have to motivate your own self to get there.
And you gotta know it ain't gonna come easy though. Everybody think because you want something and you go for it right away that you're gonna be successful at it right away. You just not. It don't work that way. Like for instance, that word schism, and I said take your time. That's because number one, I want you to number one feel the confidence for yourself. And the more you say it and the more you practice it, the better you're gonna get. That's like anything we do, it takes practice. So don't think you're gonna get nowhere the first time. It's very rare that somebody gets somewhere the very first time. So be patient through all of it and know that you just have to move. If one thing don't work, try something else. Don't give up on it. Figure it out until you figure out what works for you. Everything ain't gonna work for everybody the same way. But as long as you figuring out what works for you, you can't lose. Like I caught bits and parts of what you were saying because they came here to tell me they finna move me to another room. But from what I did catch, is that's what I got from it is that you need to get up and do it on your own. Don't think that it's just gonna come to you because it's what you want. You gotta
Yeah.
work for it.
And you can't wait till somebody tell you, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. No. If you feel like you want to get up on that bicycle and first take safety first. Now don't get up there knowing you can't get up there. Like don't do that. But if you feel like you want to get up there, don't let nobody tell you, oh, you shouldn't get up there. Get up there and see what you can do.
Only if you really have to balance it. Don't be no fool because I will say
I
that some
said
of us
safety
our
first.
cognitive see if your cognitive skills not even there that yet, you don't realize that you're not safe. So, I would just say if you know you can't stand up on your own, don't be trying to get your ass up on nobody's bike. Don't even do it. Let that bike go. Figure it out first. But no, I was gonna say stroke brain. Now I feel like I'm squeezing trying to milk a cow.
It'll come back.
um,
It's coming.
nope, it left. It left the building. I gotta have a whole new thought. My stroke then went to the stove. It'll be back. It's got to go buy some milk and some memory.
Why milk?
Milk and memory. It'll be back. But no, I know there are a lot of things that we do in this world with just being people that we think we can just keep doing, and we're gonna flourish, and we're gonna be our best selves. But if you're not, ooh, I just got a sharp pain in my foot.
Breathe.
Yo, mama. I'm sorry, y'all. That's surgery. A sharp pain just literally. I need a pain pill because right before this show, I did PT.
What you do? You waited?
I waited for what? No, I literally just had PT.
No, for your pain medicine.
Because literally when I came in, I had 6 minutes before the show started. So they didn't have time to bring me the medicine. Yeah. I didn't have time to ask for it. Anyway. This is part of what I'm talking about, guys, with adaptation. And how long can I really sit in this chair and be okay with doing what I'm doing? Not too much longer because I'm going to have to prop my leg up. But everything you do in this life, though, real talk, you got to really analyze what you're doing. You have to accept what is sometimes. And just do what's necessary. Nobody told you it's going to come easy, but it's going to be worth it when it comes because you're worth it. Like, this whole thing is worth it. But it's a struggle. But again, anything worth having going to be hard. You know, y'all ain't heard me tell you that in a minute, but it's a fact. It is a fact. It's a fact.
But you got to know that it's worth it. You know, it took a while for me to even get to that point. To know that it's worth it. You know, because we go through the struggle every day of why this happened, or just the other day I was thinking the old me will be able to get up and just go do what I wanted to do. And part of me was saying, like, I no longer can do this. I no longer could do that. It was an emotional day. But then part of me was like, well, what's stopping you? See, whenever you had them days, I always ask yourself, what's stopping you? And if you don't have a good answer, then there's nothing stopping you but you.
Mm-hmm. I can do that. Again, I apologize. Room service came in and chicken Alfredo that I did not even order. I didn't even order my lunch yet. So they was just like, here, eat this damn chicken. So now, you know, yeah, that looked like it ain't gonna be good, but we'll see what happens. I actually got me a chili cheese stick in the refrigerator. So anyway,
See, that's why you need that chicken Alfredo.
Right. No, but I had that chili cheese steak since yesterday. I actually been doing good. My appetite has been really minimal since I've been here. And today I found out, I was today years old when I found out some hospitals make the nurses standing there with you while you taking a dump. So I ain't took a dump yet because I'm just not comfortable with you standing over me while I'm trying to take a shit. I mean, take a dump.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be backed up, y'all. I'm messing around and have diarrhea before it's over with because
when you get home, you're gonna have to detox.
Right? Because until that thing fall out of my duke, I'm not doing it. I'm not with it. I did not sign up for this part of the surgery.
Mm-hmm. They used to teach. That's one thing I hated after my stroke. Why do y'all have to stand up in this restroom with me? Like,
well, no, after stroke, I get it. After stroke, I get it because your balance is off and all that. But like,
I know, but
my thing is, you can stand right outside the door. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, when they first had strokes, I actually fell off the toilet before. So I know why they do it.
I did it too, but I still didn't want them in there.
They doing it for safety reasons, so we can't be mad. It's safety reasons. But okay, um, even like over exercising, y'all know that's a thing. It's a thing to over and under exercise. Too much of anything is bad for you. Did you know that? Too much water, too much exercise, too much anything is bad for you. I came to visit a stroke survivor in this very hospital a few years ago. Before COVID had ruined my whole visitation life. Um, he had a stroke. He was a workout junkie, and
Mm.
while he was working out, he busted a vessel, and that led to his stroke. So I mean, I'm saying that to say too much of anything is bad for you. Do not be excessive with nothing that you do. And that's the whole reason why this topic of how long can you keep doing what you're doing and be okay is a thing. Because sometimes we overdo it because we're trying to prove to ourselves and other people that we're capable of something that we already know we're capable of. But you don't have to prove it or go out of your way and hurt yourself to prove to somebody else what you know you're capable of. Because all that matters is what you know. And as long as you're putting yourself, I mean, your safety first, you're going to be straight.
I didn't realize that it was a such thing as excess over water, like over drinking water.
Uh huh.
I would hear people say that, and I used to be like, "How can you over drink water? Your body needs water." But then further educating, people with heart trouble, that's a bad thing when they over drink water because they can't flush the fluid off, and so they have a lot of fluid around their heart.
Yeah, it's called water intoxication.
Yeah, I didn't even like. Okay, but then I'm living it now because I can drink a lot of water and I just be fluid just everywhere.
Right.
So.
And let me warn y'all, okay, for our listener viewers, I'm about to have another nurse come in here because that pain went up so far that, yeah, I just called for some medicine because I'm not going to sit here and suffer for nothing when I don't have to. So I'm about to get some legal drugs. I'm about to call my legal D boy. I got my legal D boy coming through now.
Well, you know what? I am very upset because I never had the legal no boy come through my room through none of this whole situation. They never gave me pain.
Yes, they come through, and I love my legal D boys because they come and bring me the Percocets and the pain, the muscle relaxers at the
see,
same time.
I never got. See, that's what I'm talking about. I never got nothing. They just told me to relax. I feel discriminated. So people put in the comments, what are some things that you would say that you've been going through every day, the same habit every day that you would like to change? Whether it's exercise, your diet, just something in life. And she's really having fun, y'all, getting this medication. I wonder if they're gonna stick her in her buttocks.
First of all, first of all, yes, I'm excited for my legal D boys. Okay, I need them in my life. Secondly, they gave me so many drugs. They said I'm gonna put an alarm on your chair to make sure you don't go hopping down the hallway because we know you like to hop.
I said, I wonder if they're gonna put them in, hey,
Hey, honey.
negative thoughts. Yeah, that's one for me too. That's a hard thing to
Yeah.
overcome.
I think we all get stuck in our head though. I think that is a trait of just human nature because sometimes the subconscious sometimes is bigger than your conscious. And your subconscious takes over, but that means those are the things that you need to address. The things that won't go away is the things that you really need to address. You can't keep sweeping under the rug. It's bothering you for a reason. Even if that means the person you know that you need to talk to, they won't be the best person, or it's just kind of go on one end after the other. Journal it because at least it'll be out of you. The goal is to just get it out of you. And remember, you don't give a damn about how people feel sometimes because guess what? It just is what it is. And we grown up. You can't
Sometimes
keep
you,
scaring everybody's
after,
feelings.
after a while, you just gonna say, forget it. I just don't even care no more. You know.
Uh-huh. For real. Hey guys, just stopping through the moment. Say, oh, oh, therapy was good, honey. You missed that part of the show. But your head is a liar too. I know what word you meant to say, but yeah, your head is a liar too. But no, remember that. Keep that in mind that your subconscious sometimes is bigger than your conscious. And oftentimes when that subconscious is eating at you, that's because that's the thing that's really important to you. But you've been either trying to spare your own, trying to spare somebody else's feelings, or you haven't been accepting of what is because you don't want to see it for yourself. And sometimes we're in denial. And that will mess us up. You know what I'm saying? So don't be in a denial. Just accept what it is and remember that we all human and we all have a thing. Regardless of what that thing looks like, we all have a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like ours is visible. You can see ours. It's right there. Some of mine is in here because stroking got mental all crazy. But for the most part, it's right on the outside. But other people's like depression and anxiety and um just sadness. You can't see those things. You know what I'm saying? You can't even everybody who got cancer, you can't see it. Everybody who got diabetes, you can't see. Everybody who dealing with something, you just can't see it. And that's why it's even more important that you treat people the way you want to be treated and not judge a book based off what you see because you really don't know what it is that people are going through. But it's also important that you don't let the things that you or people going through define you or them. Meaning, okay, say you got a person and they just aggressive and they angry, but you know their life is really just messed up. Like they homeless, they living with somebody, they can't keep no food in their house. Their life is just stressed the hell out. So they're aggressive and they angry. That don't mean that's who they are as a person. That just means right now they're in a moment in their life and it's trying and they are living with life and they're pissed off and they haven't quite figured out how to deal with those emotions yet. Don't take it personal. Don't wear your heart on your sleeve. Know that it's not personal and it's just them going through what they're going through. Have some more.
Can I get some? Can I get just a little bit? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. For all the 5 years that I went without.
Your primary doctor ain't no good.
Just a little bit. Karen is sharing. Sharon is Karen.
Yeah, she said, I'm sorry. What she said?
Uh-oh, am I in trouble?
Come on,
You know,
honey.
strength and you, we stick together. But I got a question. How long do you be able, how long can you say, oh, this person is going through this and they have a right to act that way? How long do you be like sensitive to their situation?
So basically, how long can you be mistreated by somebody who going through it?
Basically, yeah. There you go. In a nutshell.
Okay. Really, as long as you can tolerate, you have to know the person, first of all. You got to know them well enough to know their heart and their intentions. If you really know they're really a good person and they're not meaning you no harm, hold up, Sugarfoot.
that last dose help too?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
The PT beat me down.
Oh no.
But yeah. Thank you, honey. You have to know the person. So like if this person already had a history before they was even going through stuff of just being nasty and mean, chances are that's the heart of that person. And nothing about them is going to change. So then you dismiss yourself from them because they already showed you who they are. And when somebody show you who they are, you better believe it. But if you know, like, this person just started acting like this, then there's something going on internally. Even if it's not their personal situation. For instance, if you have a caregiver as a stroke survivor and they shifted, their attitude and everything changed. You got to remember that you didn't have that stroke or that trauma by yourself. So they're also trying to process and figure out how to deal. So that's part of the reason why I approve stroke camp, because it gets stroke survivors and caregivers together so they can start to relearn how to move and get through tragedy together. Because once you go through something like that, everybody kind of gets knocked down, but nobody is really taught how to get up. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just a process of, it's part of what Courage was talking about with observing, being observant of that person beforehand and even after. So if they was halfway nasty before your trauma, chances are they're gonna be even worse after your trauma, because that's putting extra stress on them, and stress already causes anger off top. So um, be observant more than anything, and then take the action to take control of your life and your happiness, because the only person that can stop you from being happy and take that away from you is you. And until you take back that power, you won't be free from the burden of their negative energy. So I would say, to answer your question of how long can you be mistreated before you give it up on that person, be observant of that person and know that person. If you don't know that person, don't even deal with that mistreatment. You don't even know them well enough to even deal. We're not doing this. We're gonna start this relationship on a whole different path. We ain't gonna start like that. So if it's starting on mistreatment, don't even give it no energy, because it's not gonna be conducive to you. So you want to fall back from that as far back as you can go. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would just say everything. The best want us to do something, but I would just say everything that you do as far as putting work in and doing too much of anything is bad for you. There has to be a balance. That's why we need the sun and the moon. If the sun was out all day, what you think? You think the trees would be the way they are? We'll have flowers blooming. We wouldn't have the things we have. If
No, you
everything's,
burnt it.
you know what I'm saying? So we need that balance. So you can't have the good without the bad. So, you know, I
Yeah.
would just say, be patient. We always gonna talk about them patience. Patience and practice is the biggest things as people that we can. Those are the biggest tools that we can learn and work with. Patience and practice, because those are the only constant things besides change in this world. So be patient with yourself. Um, don't do too much and don't do too little. Balance your life out. Don't focus solely on your trauma and don't focus solely on your personal. Make that also a balance. There needs to be a healthy medium, because everybody needs a woosah moment from both sides of the fence. So don't pressure yourself to be no more than what you know you need to be. And that's 100% you, perfectly imperfect, not trying to fit into nobody's bubble or box. Um, Again, happy Juneteenth. Courage, do you want to leave the people with anything before I go into my spiel?
Go out and celebrate freedom. So that's
Freedom,
where I'm
guys.
at.
Go out and celebrate freedom. But remember, like I said, don't try to fit into nobody's box, because everybody got opinions. So You ain't gonna never please everybody. And remember what I always tell you: when you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up. Wear your crown with pride. Put your lantern inside that crown and let that light radiate all over you and through you. Anything that's negative gonna bounce back. You're not gonna try to overconsume yourself to be more than perfectly imperfect, because we love you just as you are. And there are many schisms in people, but that's the beauty of us being human. We get to learn and adjust to those schisms, meaning those differences, guys. Learn the new word.
Yes.
Take that word, use it with you. Know that you're loved, you're needed, you're appreciated, you're valued, and you're everything that you needed to be. I love you with everything in me. Until next time, I wish you nothing but greatness in everything that you touch, everything that you do. And I love you wholeheartedly. Happy Monday, guys. Catch us on Wednesdays for Strokes of Humor. And I hope that you get to join us on Friday for support group. I'll be coming in from the hospital still, but come through with that strength in you, baby. Until next week.